Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jack Madrox here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the wrestling world and things that are kind of going on in it, and my opinions on it. Okay, so recently, Charlotte Flair had pictures stolen out of her phone which contained nudity of herself. They were like nude selfies. And, and this is like the second time this year it has happened, okay? I mean, it happened with Paige just last month, I believe. Except her pictures were not just pictures, they were videos and contained actual sexual content, whereas Charlotte's pictures were just nude selfies. But, now, the point I want to make here is that this country, America, is the only reason these women, Paige and Charlotte, are being shamed, and embarrassed, they're being embarrassed by this, okay, is because this country is so goddamn uptight about nudity and sex. Now, you could say maybe I'm a little too liberal or something, I don't know, on the subject, but take Europe for an example. My God, they have open nudity on every TV station except the Children's Network. I know this because I've talked to people online about it who actually live in Europe, and I went on Yahoo Questions and Answers, and yeah, Europe is very open about nudity. Okay, I'm not too sure about sex, but I'm pretty sure, nudity isn't a big deal to people who live in Europe. And they don't have to feel ashamed about their bodies or anything like that. So if a European wrestler, or TV star or whatever, had nude photos of them shown, it wouldn't be a big deal to them. Because it's like, they grew up in a culture where they don't have to feel ashamed of their bodies. But you see, we're so goddamn uptight here in America about it that when you get a side boob showing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, slut shame. I mean, it's just, I'm just gonna say this, okay? Paige, Charlotte, anybody else who might suffer, be trying, thinking that they're humiliated by these attacks, these hack attacks. Don't be ashamed. Okay, it's just the human body. Women have boobs, men have dicks. Women have vaginas, men have balls. Okay, we all have it. Okay, I mean, for Christ's sakes, I mean, this is ridiculous. Now, I mean, where it's like we got to be ashamed of our bodies or whatever. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Nobody should be ashamed of themselves. Nobody. Ugh, good. So yeah, so I just wanted to point out that this country is way too uptight about nudity. And that's the only reason why Paige and Charlotte and anyone else who's had their shit hacked and posted all over the internet, why they feel humiliated or whatever. Because it's not their fault, because they've been raised in a country that is surrounded, by a sense that nudity is shameful. It's ridiculous. Okay, I got that out of the way. Now I wanted to talk about Finn Balor and Emma. Okay, first Finn Balor. Let's get to that. When he first showed up, to face Seth Rollins for the new Universal title back at SummerSlam last year, I was feeling it, I was feeling his presence, But, and then he got injured during the match, which is whosever fault it was, it's up for debate. Maybe Seth Rollins didn't time that power bomb into the railing or whatever at the right time. Maybe he let go too soon. Or maybe it's Finn Balor's fault because he put his arm back, like this, and that dislocated his shoulder or whatever. And I think it's pretty badass that Finn Balor was able to his arm back into place and finish out the match. That shows dedication. Okay, that shows a guy who's serious about what he does. Okay. However, that injury cost him about 6 or 8 months worth of his career. Okay, and that sucks. That sucks. But, however, it doesn't really look good for a guy who calls himself the Demon King, You think a name like the Demon King would be a lot more, stronger than that, And then, okay, so let's fast forward here, okay? He comes back. And in one of his first matches back against Jinder Mahal, he suffers a concussion. It's like, holy shit, is this guy injury prone? It's like, holy shit, I understand he was hot-shotted to the title at SummerSlam. I realize that. But, now he comes back and, and I can understand why they're not going to put him right into the title scene again. Because who's Universal Champion right now? The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And there's actually some people out there who want to watch Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor go at it. It's like, are you fucking nuts? Are you nuts? Brock would wipe the floor with Finn Balor. You're out of your mind. Oh my god. I like Finn Balor too, but, really? He doesn't have a chance against Brock Lesnar. Which is why this whole new feud with Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor is going to happen, because before Finn Balor is even going to sniff the Universal title again, they have got to get it off of Brock Lesnar with somebody else. Because I don't care if he comes out in his Demon King face paint, body paint or whatever, it won't matter. He ain't going to beat Brock Lesnar. It's just not happening. He's too damn small. It's just gonna, basically what I'm worried about with Finn Balor is, I love his gimmick. I love the whole thing, okay? But, see, the thing is that it's starting to look a little reminiscent of Daniel Bryan, Small guy, can't stay healthy, injury prone, it's like, oh, not again, And then there's, no one wants to see guys like Finn Balor or Daniel Bryan or hell, even Neville in the cruiserweight division. Okay, and now something didn't feel right to me about putting Neville in the cruiserweight division. He's wrestled with the big guys. He's done his time. He proved that he can hang with them, and yet they still put him in the cruiserweight division. Now, granted, yeah, I think his new gimmick, with, Neville turning heel, it's probably the best thing that's happened to his character in a really long time, and I really dig it. But I just don't understand why he had to be thrust down to the cruiserweight division, which isn't going to be around that long anyway. I don't really think it is. Who cares? I just sit on my phone and play WWE Immortals when a cruiserweight match goes on, or I go to take a shit, I don't care about it, But anyways, back to Finn Balor. Back to Finn Balor. I don't want to see him become another Daniel Bryan, where it's like he just can't stay healthy. And Vince or whoever loses faith in him totally, and he just becomes nobody. You know, I don't want to see that happen to Finn Balor. I really don't. Okay, so now I want to talk about Emma. Okay, Emma, whatever. I can't. She got injured at a house show apparently in Glasgow, I think. And it's like, oh my god, that's another one who keeps getting injured. I mean, holy shit. She suffered some big ass injury when her and Dana Brooke were, they were a team. I barely remember it, because it's just, whatever. It was whatever. And she got injured, and it was a really bad injury, neck injury or something, and she was out for like 8 some months, and then she goes off and she decides to change her character around from Emma to Emelina, and then this Emelina character is some sort of supermodel or whatever, and they teased it for like weeks and weeks and weeks. It'll be worth the wait. It's like, okay. So then she finally does come out on Raw as Emelina, but then right there as Emelina is debuting, she said right there on the ramp. She says, "Oh, well, I'm going back to Emma, coming soon." Turns around, walks out. Don't see her for a couple more weeks. She comes back as Emma. I mean, what a waste of time, What the fuck? I was just thinking, I was like, what a waste of time. Fuck, that was not worth the wait. I'm just going to tell you that right now, that was not worth the wait. But anyway, okay, so now that Emma's back and she's just Emma again, she's been getting some more wrestling in, she's been getting some matches in and stuff, but she got injured again, and now this time it's her shoulder. It's like, holy hell, dude. What is it with these wrestlers and all these injuries? Like, because I remember back in the day, and I hate to sound like an old fucker here, okay? But, back in the day, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, during the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, yeah, wrestlers got injured legitimately, but it wasn't so frequent. At least that's not what I remember. I remember Stone Cold's injury. He had to, they did that whole thing with him getting run with Rikishi running him down with a car, and that made up for time for him to go get his surgery done or whatever, because that was a legit injury that he suffered back in '97 in that match at SummerSlam with Owen Hart. But even with that injury, the guy still rose to the freaking top. Like, that's crazy. That takes some serious dedication. But you take a wrestler from today and have them suffer the injury that Austin did, they'd be done. They wouldn't even think about getting back into a WWE ring. Or any ring. It just seems like almost like, I mean, I'm not around the locker room or anything. I don't know what goes on. But, it just seems like there's like a lack of passion in the WWE locker room, or just probably just any locker room, It just kind of seems like the passion ain't there. They're just satisfied to be on TV, and it's like, oh, well, I made it to WWE, the big leagues of wrestling, and now I don't have to work as hard anymore, type deal, At least that's what it kind of feels like. No, there still are some really good parts about wrestling nowadays, but it's very few and far in between, and it really shows. You know, like it just a lot of it just feels really. God, I don't want to say that, like emotionless. I guess it doesn't look like anybody's really themselves. I guess there's a lot of blame placed on the WWE Creative team. You know, it sounds like to me that there's just not enough freedom. Like, because I remember I was watching just today. I was watching an interview or something. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince Russo, and Austin says something along the lines of, "There's not enough creative freedom for the wrestlers anymore. It's all too controlled now. What they have to say and what they can't say, and what they have to do and what they can't do. You know, and there's no room for improvising. You know, like the spur of the moment feelings. You know, it's like, say what you're scripted to say, but put your own little twist on it." Apparently, that's what he was saying, is that there's just not enough freedom for the guys and gals in the locker room to do their thing. You know, part of me, part of me probably believes that he's pretty close there. That's probably a big part of what's going on. That there's not enough freedom, like there was, like in the Attitude Era or whatever. You know, that's what they need. They need to bring that back. You know. Well, anyways, you know, I'm just ranting and raving here. You know, doing a little bit of wrestling talk. I know I ain't been doing as much lately, but honestly, I just can't find a whole lot to say about it anymore. I mean, I found, there's a couple wrestlers that I can get behind nowadays. There's a few. Mainly Dean Ambrose. I love the Lunatic Fringe. He's my guy. My guy. Hands down. Close behind him, I'd have to say Sami Zayn. Okay, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Sami Zayn or whatever, but I like Sami Zayn. I think he's cool. And out of all the divas, or they're not divas anymore, they're whatever, women wrestlers. I don't know what to call them anymore. But just women wrestlers. I really like Becky Lynch, and I like Alexa Bliss. Yes, I like Alexa Bliss. Okay, I think she can get some serious heat out of the crowd. I've seen her do it. Like when they're doing the what chants at her, she actually responds to it. She just doesn't try to talk over it or ignore it, you know. She goes right for it. She's like, "Really? You're going to do that what shit with me?" Or, well, she doesn't say shit, but you know what I mean. But you know what? It's cool to see her rip into the fans like that. You know what? And I believe, okay, I really believe that Roman would get over a little bit more if they would just let him drop this fucking face of the company, ultra good guy Cena 2.0 crap, and let him be a heel. Let him rip into the damn crowd. Just let him do it. You know? Because this whole babyface thing don't work, okay? I mean, oh yeah, he beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. And then the next night on Raw, or what was it, the following night on Raw, or something, I don't know. Soon after that, Braun Strowman just completely obliterates him in the back, the backstage area. And people then care about Roman. They were chanting for Braun Strowman to kill him. I mean, I don't know whether to blame that on Roman or the writers. Probably it's more the writers' fault than Roman. I mean, Roman as the man, I'm not talking about the character, I'm talking about the man. Okay? He can't help how he's booked. He can't. Okay, let's just get down to business. Let's just get to he can't help how he's booked. Okay? And I don't know how he got to the place that he's at right now where Vince is so high up on him and he's pushing him to the moon. Whether that's backstage politics or that's just Vince picking who he wants, at the end of the day, he probably can't help how he's booked and he can't help his lines. Okay? The lines that are written for him are terrible. Okay? I remember one of the most terrible lines that I've ever heard probably in the past 2 or 3 years of wrestling was Seth Rollins coming out and saying that he talked to the Pope and the Pope said that he's going to heaven. It's like, what? I mean, do any of y'all remember that? It's like, I'm going to heaven. Oh, it's true. The Pope told me so. It's like, really? It's stupid. I just thought that was the dumbest thing in the whole world. The whole world. I was like, the Pope told you you're going to heaven. Who gives a fuck? I know Seth Rollins did not write that crap. Okay, that shit was handed to him. That's just one of the worst freaking things ever. And did Roman Reigns write the whole suffering succotash thing? I doubt it. Those lousy fucking writers, man. I think a lot of it's the writers. And then the wrestler is like what Steve Austin said. It says there's not enough freedom. No one lets anyone do any ad libs or do any improvising on their lines and injecting a little bit of their own personality into the script. It's just like, no, you're going to say exactly this and only this and blah, 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 blah. So maybe it's not that wrestlers nowadays don't have any balls, but maybe it's just because they're being strangled, They're like, nah. Like, you're going to say this and only this. Oh, speaking of balls, the next Raw pay-per-view, okay, I think it's the very next Raw pay-per-view after SmackDown Live has their Backlash pay-per-view. It's called Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire. Whoever came up with that name, go fuck yourself. It's like, seriously, dude, like, that's so stupid. Now, if that pay-per-view turns out to be something special, then okay, but it doesn't change the fact that the name is stupid, okay? There was another channel here on YouTube. I was watching somebody. He was making fun of it, and he was just laughing, and I was just like, it is stupid. He's like, yeah, leave your funny WWE pay-per-view names in the comment section below. Let's have fun with this. And so I was like, okay. I came up with a few myself. It's like, how about WWE Nutbuster? How about WWE Sorry Not Sorry? WWE YOLO. Let's just get really stupid. Let's just get really stupid about it, Oh, God. Okay, well, anyways, I'm ranting. I'm done ranting. Okay, I got Raw on tonight. I'm going to be watching Raw. I use the term watch very loosely. Okay? Because usually when something's on that I don't care about, I just end up playing Immortals on my phone or something, or I just do something else entirely. But anyways, this is Jack Madrox. Y'all stay spooky. See you later.